Hey there, thanks for joining me for this video on self-massage for the legs. We're gonna be seated for most of this, so make sure that you have a bench or seat nearby. We're gonna start with a move that I call being in your feet, which I've taken in a lot of different directions, and you can check out videos specifically on it in my YouTube. But what it does is it really encourages our lymphatic system, which is one of our circulatory systems, to open and flow. And it also supports the body in warming up, which encourages our blood, our other circulation to also increase, right? So it's a great way to set up for massage and to get things flowing. It also, those crunchy areas that we think about, the front of the shoulders are often a little crunchy. Sometimes at the top of the shoulder blade, we'll find those crunchy areas. It is often lymphatic fluid that is restricted, and that is like sluggish, and it's been there for a while, so it started to harden. So one of the cool things about this move is finding an area that's normally crunchy on you, giving a little bit of palpation or touch to see where it's at now, and then check it again after to just really celebrate the change that this move can create. So I want your feet to be about shoulder width apart and straight. You want to make sure that they're also even, okay? So even across, straight out in front of you. And then I'm gonna bend my knees to a pretty noticeable bend, okay? And then we're gonna lift the sternum or breastbone. And what this is doing is putting your head and shoulders in alignment and keeping your shoulders back without pushing them back, which can make them stressed instead of relaxed. So the difference is if I push my shoulders back, my head stays where it is. If I lift my sternum, I go into better alignment. Okay, so with all of that in place, our feet even and straight forward, our knees bent, sternum lifted, we're going to gently, in range of comfort, rock forward up onto your toes and back to your heels. Just allow your arms to be by your side. Go with the pace that feels comfortable for you, to the amount that feels comfortable with you. Check in with your knees. Make sure that they're staying bent, and if they straighten up, just bend them back again. Check in with your sternum, your breastbone. Make sure it's staying lifted. And if it falls, just go ahead and lift it again. We're just opening all of those areas where the lymphatic system flows, right? And creating better channels to really boost our circulation. And also to warm up the body so that our legs are more ready to release and relax. Great. So I love that move all the time. I do it waiting online, I do it while washing dishes. It's just great, and the body loves it. Go ahead and check in with whatever crunchy area you chose at the beginning. Right? It's a difference. It's nice. So now I want you to think about where your legs are uncomfortable. I've talked a little bit in other videos about opposing musculature. It's not always, and it's often not the areas that are crying out for attention that are actually tight. The areas that complain, just like us, are often overworked or tired. And so while they can use some soothing touch, they probably don't need to be released. And in fact, releasing them is going to cause, encourage them to stretch even further than they're already stretched, and they're likely hyperextended to begin with. One of the best examples in our legs of that is our hamstrings. Our hamstrings, the back of our thighs, are often the part that aches or cries out for attention, and often that's actually coming from our quads, the front of our thighs. And so, our quads are shortened in that situation and our hamstrings are stretched too far, hyperextended. And so we want to allow our quads to release so that our hamstrings can relax. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to my seat. Taking a trip with me. All right. And I'm going to lower so you can see my legs. So I've chosen to sit on my bench here today. If you are more comfortable on the floor, you can go ahead and do that. You just want to make sure that you are comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, you're going to have trouble relaxing. So I think I'm going to adjust my camera again. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So we're going to start by working on our knees, okay? We've already warmed up our legs with the being in your feet rocking. And now you want to just feel around your knees for anything that feels tight, right? We've talked about the skin or the fascia, that connective tissue, getting like, just like a stretched, tight feeling can make the skin feel tight. Or where the bones like kind of stick out a little bit, bony protrusions. Those are often areas that lots of things attach on. So just kind of traveling around your knee and exploring and doing a little bit of this circular cross fiber action. So making little circles, and I'm also going back and forth. And remember, any point of contact is an opportunity to do some massage. So my thumbs up here are also doing just a little bit of gentle motion. And you can adjust this to whatever feels good. You want to stay in that gentle range of comfort. So on a 0 to 10 scale, you want to stay under, you want to stay in like that 3 or 4 area. So you don't feel like you're forcing or really trying or clenching in response to anything that you're doing. You're just going to keep going around your knees, inviting them to release and relax. We have musculature that comes down from our thighs, up from our lower legs and calves. And all of it attaches around our knees. And often we don't think about our knees until they're hurting. So this supports all of that. You can go all the way around your knees. Okay. Now I can feel that my quad has already released a little bit. And I'm going to go in a little bit deeper. And I'm going to find that bony protrusion up on my hip. And I'm going to pull on it while I'm pulling down here on another bony protrusion. And you can feel it. This is actually the tibia coming up from my lower leg. And you can feel this bump that happens. It's just like one of the places where your bone sticks out a little bit. And you want to just pull from one to the other. Create a little bit of tension, a little bit of stretch on that fascia. And then release. You can do it a couple times. Take somewhere in the range of 1 to 3 deep, slow breaths, and then release. And one more time. Good job. Awesome. So I can feel that my quads have released even further. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to press down with my thumbs. Our quads are another one of those areas where it's pretty meaty, so it can probably take a little bit more pressure than some other areas. And just pay attention to what feels like a 3 or 4. You get to decide what your 3 or 4 is. Just want to make sure that you're staying relaxed. So I'm pushing down with my thumbs, doing a little bit of that cross fiber, doing a little bit of just comforting compression with my fingers on the sides because they're points of contact. So just getting in there. And you can go up as far as you want. I'm going to go back down because my quads were tighter closer to my knee. So again, I'm just following up. I've made the motion a little faster. You can make it as fast or slow as you want. And really just pay attention to what your muscles are responding to, because that's going to be different on different days. So now we're going to think up more about our lower legs. And so I'm going to point you down here. So I'm going to do that same compression with on either side of that chin bone, right, that you think about, which is really on either side, all the way down here of that chin area. And actually this feels really good, just taking my fingers and allowing them to slide down. Because I'm working through my clothes, I don't need any oil. And I have some extra traction. And now I'm going to follow that with my thumbs, pushing and releasing, pushing and releasing, and at the same time I'm bringing my fingers forward on my calves and creating more of that really nice compression. And I'm going to repeat that again. Staying in that range that feels like a 3 or 4 to me. And I have some tightness around this ankle, so I'm going to pause and just do some friction. One last time. And then on either side of our ankles, right, we have those malleoli, those bones that stick out a little bit. So you want to just do some cross fiber around them. Just some up and down motions. And I'm lifting my foot so that you can really see my ankle. I want you to do this though with your leg really relaxed so that you can get the most benefit from it. Great. And you can do that on both sides, just that cross frictioning, looking for any tightness. And then you would move on to your other leg. This is a great opportunity to also, if you have the time after working on your other leg, to go and watch the self-massage for the feet video and just move right into that because your legs are so warmed up already. Thank you so much for joining me for this self-massage video. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. I love you. I love me. I love us. I'll see you soon.